What's going on, everyone? It's Captain Neckbeard here, and welcome to a new series that I'd like to call Countdown to KOF. In order to promote the game, SNK have released a new character trailer almost every week since the start of the year. Today, I'm going to give my review on those trailers, as well as put them in a tier list to see how I feel about each individual character trailer. And going forward, for every new character trailer that drops, I'm going to be doing a live and in-depth reaction to it, and I'll be adjusting the tier list accordingly. The next trailer is set to be dropped on Thursday. So I'll be sure to record it and hopefully have it up for you on Friday. Be sure to subscribe to check it out. So, let's get started with our first trailer. So our first trailer, we're going to start with Shunei. Bit of an interesting character, in the sense that I do not care about this character at all. He looks a little silly. They did make this pretty cool theme for him, but it's nothing like spectacular for me. And then we see in the trailer just the craziest jump cuts over jabs, like not even the full specials coming out. We see a bit of his super there. And then the trailer just ends. Like, there's not a whole lot that they're offering that makes me, like, interested in this. Like, the editing, like editing those jabs and specials like that, it's just really jarring. And it really was not a good first impression at all. And so because of that, we're going to be putting Shunei in the lowest possible tier. Like, it was a horrible way for them to start off. Like, I understand that they want Shunei to be the new character that's the forefront of the series, but this did not do a good job in piquing my interest. So now we have another strange character in Miten-kun. I don't really get his bit. Like, he's a good fighter, but he's narcoleptic. I don't know. His character-wise, not a huge fan. But gameplay-wise, especially like with the way they've started doing the trailers right after this point, like showing off some of the actual KOF things, he does look kind of interesting. Nothing I'll be maining, but I think he looks pretty cool nonetheless. Not too bad. And I think it's just because it's not Shunei's trailer, it's already way better. And, like, it was a trailer that kind of everyone who saw it enjoyed, so, yeah. So now we have Benimaru, the absolute Jake Paul of King of Fighters. He keeps winning. He proves his successes by having the most wins in King of Fighters. That's lore, that's canon. But everyone hates him. Like, he's just that annoying guy everyone loves to hate. But again, you can't deny the actual success that he's had. For this trailer, though, everything seems really good. Everything makes sense. Everything's not super jarring. But then, this is where we go crazy.
Team Hero!
They completely switched around who would be Team Hero in this game. Again, they wanted Shunei to be at the forefront. This is the guy. This is our guy. Kyo, never heard of him. It's all about him now. And rearranging the teams now so that he's the essentially leader of Team Hero, and even having the character with the most King of Fighters wins in Benimaru on the team, it just makes sense. I was kind of surprised that Benimaru wasn't just going to be a traditional Team Japan, like they always have done for him in the past. Well, not always, but it's something you would expect out of only the second game in this new storyline that they're doing with it. But still, I find it really interesting. For the team rank, I'm going to update it as more teams come in. And yeah, so far, that's Team Hero. And then we have Yuri. They gave him a new look. He looks a little more like his classic design. Also with a good mix of the look he gave them for 14. Gameplay wise, he looks like Yuri. Looks pretty cool. Nothing, again, nothing super stellar that I'm finding. I'm just really drawn to how I like his new look. His new super also, though, is just insane. Crazy. I think it's really cool. So with that, I'm going to put Yori in Exceeds. For me, if he were to meet expectations, he would have looked kind of exactly the same like he did in 14. But I'm really digging the new look they gave him. So he exceeds. Now we have Joe. Now Joe is, again, he's been in every single King of Fighters game, but any game that I've played with Joe in it, I've never really had any interest in playing. However, this trailer, I don't know if it's the music or like seeing how he actually plays for the first time. I think Joe looks sick. Like, I definitely want to try him when the game drops. Like, the way all of his command moves like kind of link into each other, I think it just gives me that little bit ease of access that I can just do command links into each other to make him a little easier. But he still looks sick, and like his theme, which is actually called in its full name, A New Poem That South Thailand Wants to Tell. Like, it's sick. I think Joe looks really great in this game. Well, for me, Joe isn't anything like shattering, but he looks really good for what I want in a character. So yeah, that's Joe. So now we have Kyo. I am so glad that they gave him back his old look, because his design in 14 was just abysmal. Like, at least in 15, he looks cool. He looks badass. Kyo in 14, like, I did not think he was like cool or intimidating at all. I think if I really put my mind to it, like just off of pure looks, I think I could take King of Fighters 14 Kyo in a fight. But this is a whole different story. He looks insane. And the particle effects they have on his fire, it is immaculate. Like, they put so much work into this game, like you can really tell just by something as simple as the particle effects. Kyo looks incredible in this game. But yeah, I'm just happy more than anything that they got rid of that old design for him. But again, but I think the difference for me is that it's really hard to like put my finger on it. It was kind of me expecting like, oh, please just give him back his old look, and then that's all I want. And they did. And I got what I wanted. So yeah, it doesn't exceed like Yori does, but Kyo's good. So now we've got the first actual crazy one.
Team Sacred Treasures!
Bringing back Team Sacred Treasures and bringing back Chizuru. Now, this was probably the moment that's probably shattered the most expectations for a lot of the King of Fighters fans. Again, it's been a while since we've even seen Chizuru in a game, let alone a team like Team Sacred Treasures. So, gameplay-wise, like, she looks like super zony, so I don't know if I'll be playing her a whole lot, but I can't get over this theme. It just goes so hard. I think one of the craziest things that I am thinking about when they made these new teams, or not new, like when they changed up these teams, is that I'm thinking a lot of the traditional Team Japan and Team Yagami. Like, what's going to happen to Goro? What's going to happen to Mature, Vice? But aside from that, like, I am really in love with Team Sacred Treasures already. It is sick. We'll go there. And Chizuru, yeah. Like, Chizuru looks sick. Doesn't look like my bag, but bringing her back, forming Team Sacred Treasures, it's incredible. I love it. Thank God they have done this little redesign for Andy. Much like Kyo in 14, Andy just looks so bad in 14. He looks like your annoying little sister who won't get out of your room and isn't touching you. I'm not touching you. But in this game, like, they finally just put some meat on his bones. He's got, like, he doesn't have, like, that super massive forehead like he does. Like, he looks buffed out. Like, he doesn't look like a little Twinkie. And already that's enough for me to, like, be much happier with the character. Gameplay-wise, again, Andy isn't someone I don't think I'm going to be playing all that much. Just because I just hated him so much in Fatal Fury Special when I was playing that on my phone. He was so cheap. But yeah, they finally made Andy not look like garbage. So yeah, they made Andy not look like garbage. So, and that was all that I wanted them to do. Just make Andy not a twerp. And that's it. So now we have Yuri Sakazaki, and with these trailers specifically now, they start showing off like some of the stages now in a little more detail. We have the Pow Pow Cafe here, and naturally it's going to be Yuri showing it off too. A lot of classic moves. That pile driver, the air dive, knockoff Shoryuken, knockoff Hadouken, knockoff Go Hadouken. Pink slaps, those always get me. And like what I really like about this trailer is that it's a lot like Yuri's character, like character-wise and gameplay-wise. It's fast, furious, in your face. A lot of stuff is happening super fast. And like the difference between this trailer and Shune's is that Shune's was doing jump cuts off of a single jab. Like a single jab, a single hit. Like this, at least you can kind of tell what's going on more. Again, Yuri being in the game, though, not exactly a big surprise for me. So yeah, she's kind of what I expected. So yeah, that is a good thing. And now we move on to possibly who is my favorite inclusion so far. I'd like to reiterate this. Inclusion, not character. Now, you see, Terry Bogard being in Super Smash Bros. Was probably the only reason I'd ever like heard or even given a chance to SNK as a whole. Like Terry's inclusion in Smash, along with like all the love that the development team there put into his character and put into his moves, like I immediately fell in love with the character. And then one thing led to another. I'm reading up on SNK stuff. I'm falling in love with Geese Howard. I'm playing Tekken. I'm meeting up with new creators who are all about playing Tekken, playing fighting games, who are getting hyped for King of Fighters. Like, it's an oversimplification of events, but Terry's inclusion in Smash kind of changed my life. Oversimplification, of course, yeah, but still, that's what happened. They gave him back his old school look, the leather vest with the ripped sleeves. I wasn't like the biggest fan of his 14 design, but I didn't think it was bad. But I think this looks way better either way. They gave him back Power Dunk, which I'm actually kind of hyped about. It's a sick ass move. The particle effects on Power Geyser are great. I think another thing that really set this trailer apart specifically was that they just showed raw gameplay footage. Like, it actually gave viewers a better idea of like how the game functions, because obviously the game isn't just spunking on a computer doing nothing. There's both people fighting, and it's going to show a way better idea of what a typical game could look like. And again, it looks pretty sick. It's typical King of Fighters. Someone gets one hit, and suddenly it's a big 30-hit combo. That's exactly what someone like me wants, and this little bonus at the end, it gave it to us perfectly.
Team Fatal Fury!
And then we have the actual announcement of Team Fatal Fury. But again, like, Team Fatal Fury, like, if they're the only team since King of Fighters 94 to never have like any deviations in their team whatsoever. Even in 99 when Mai joined their team, it was still Terry, Andy, and Joe. They were the only constant. It's not surprising. It's good. I love Team Fatal Fury, but it doesn't exceed any expectations whatsoever. But Terry as a whole does. They just gave him back so much stuff that was way better than his appearance in 14, and I'm very happy with it. So now we have Yashiro. This is probably of all the characters that we've seen in the trailer so far, this is the only one I've never like seen, even in my playthroughs of the old game. Like I've just never run into him at all. And I think like there's just something about characters whose special moves are just like fancier and flashier punches. Like I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of like you need some like actual like crazy special moves, not just, oh, I'm going to punch you a whole bunch of times, or oh, I'm going to punch you one big time. It's just I don't know, I'm just not a huge fan of like the like ultra brawler archetype. They need some more flash. They need some funky moves, not just punches and kicks. Now, it's not to say that, like, I don't like this character at all. I think his moves do look okay, but it's just gameplay-wise something that doesn't exactly interest me. I'm not a huge fan, like, of the character itself or the way it plays, but trailer-wise and, like, the way that other people are going to appreciate the character, I think it's good. I can say without any doubt of certainty that it's certainly no Shune trailer. It's a good trailer. It's what we needed. And now we have what is kind of like probably the biggest actual upset for me this whole series that I've got going here. King. King was, like when I played through the old games, I know I wanted to play with Terry and Geese, but I couldn't figure out a third. I hit random, and I got Ralph. I did not like Ralph, so I picked King instead. Yeah, King just kind of clicked with me. I liked the character. I liked the way that she plays. But this trailer, like, there's nothing like special about it. Like, there's super flashy King combos that she's known for. But aside from that, it looks like nothing has been updated. Even the song they used her Art of Fighting 2 theme, but it wasn't like, this trailer isn't like spectacular. It's not making me think like, oh yeah, King, I'm excited for King. It's, I don't know, it's a lot more well produced than Shune's trailer, but at least with the other trailers, it showed like something that set them apart. King's trailer just didn't. I think I am just being a little biased when I put King here, just because I was expecting more, but everyone seemed to get a little something that matched exactly what they were and what's new about them. It looks like nothing has changed with King. And now we're here with everyone's favorite SNK girl, Mai Shiranui. Now there's something that's changed about her. There's something that's changed about her, but I can't really like put my finger on it. I don't know what it is. Gameplay wise, it looks like the same Mai that we've been used to forever. But I think what really sets this trailer apart is like all the other stuff that they did specifically for Mai. You can't really hear it because I can't get a clean copy of it. But what's happening in this trailer is that they've remixed her Fatal Fury 2 theme. And like they did a full remix, and it's just for Mai, not even like her team. And like even the transition effects, like for everyone else it was just fire, but for Mai, they gave her the cherry blossoms. Like you can tell they put a lot more care into Mai's trailer than than some of the other characters, like King specifically. Like King's trailer, like it just seemed like a bland trailer, nothing big, especially when you compare it to Mai's. Mai had a really interesting trailer. Gameplay wise, nothing strange, but I think the care that SNK put into her trailer, I think it exceeds expectations. Like, it's a really good trailer. And now we have a character that broke expectations for everyone for completely different reasons than Chizuru. So we have Shermie. They're finally bringing her back after a long time. I believe this is the first time we've seen her in a 2.5D setting. Now, the obvious thing that people have been pointing out with Shermie is that she is suffering from the most dramatic case of Pixar mom syndrome the world has ever seen. This is absurd. But aside from Pixar mom syndrome, I think Shermie looks really awesome. Like her links, like even into her throws, into her command move, like it looks insane. The combos she can do off of command throws, it looks sick. And I think I actually might be playing this character when the game drops. Like, I've just been so entranced by the actual gameplay in this trailer that I might just pick up Shermie. So Shermie, for me, like, it's cool that they brought her back, but they did not need to go this hard in the paint for making her. That was actually an insane trailer. Like, everything about the trailer makes me think, Jesus, what is that? And what is it doing? Shattering my expectations. And so with that, that's going to do it for the kickoff episode of Countdown to KOF. We should be getting the new trailer hopefully on Thursday. And then as soon as I'm off work, I'll give it a quick time to record, and then I'll have it up for you guys. If you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe down below. And yeah, take care.